And what we're seeing here is the city of tomorrow is powered by extreme networks.
So first of all, data, again, like we saw in the whole building, is the most important element for the future, because it gives you all the information you need to have.
And the doctor interacts with you virtually.
Yeah, the doctor is partly virtual, partly human. It's all about artificial intelligence. And then we have another part that is very physically and tangible, related to robots in construction. Anything in the city is, of course, now intelligent and even predictive to things that happen in that city and will happen.
All right, so I keep bouncing from stage to stage. People are like, why do you do that? So we can transition the stage and make space. Over here, so please give me a warm welcome, or join me in giving a warm welcome to Joachim de Vos from Living Tomorrow. Joachim.
Good morning. Hi, Fort Worth. Hi, Texas. I'm so excited to be back. Last year in Berlin, you know that we collaborate together, Extreme Networks, Living Tomorrow. I came with this picture. We were going to build an innovation campus, where in the next 5 years, we bring hundreds of thousands of people together to really integrate top of technology, looking forward to 2035, maybe 2040. And we did. This is the building, this is the campus, a few days ago. And inside the building, there's all kinds of new stuff. From a kitchen of the future, a home of the future, virtual avatars, EA-boosted things, drones that are connected, robots that are printing concrete, and of course, a smart city of the future that we build together with Extreme. And it's really looking forward to the city of tomorrow in 2030, 2035, with zillions of connected things. And each calamity is automatically registered, and it explains the system, how it all interconnects, how that city really becomes that fabric, intelligent fabric of tomorrow. And I'm happy that I'm coming out of that future over here to talk with you about the reason why we are all here together. Technology is going so fast. I think every week I can put a new item on this slide. And the most important thing is, what will it mean for our next lives? What will it mean for our daily life? In these categories, in these main fields of our life that are going to be disrupted in the next coming 10 years. So we had to connect all these things together, and only the best of the best can do that. So we connected with Extreme. Infinite connectivity, that's what we needed. And we have a lot of partners in Living Tomorrow, and you have to imagine, they all bring their latest technologies, even prototypes. So it was a hard job that we did, but it succeeded. Everything is connected, everything works seamlessly together. Technologies of today and even technologies of tomorrow running on the network. And a second thing I want to bring and to share with you today is some research that I did, working 30 years at Living Tomorrow that we started way back in 1995, and talking with thousands of companies. Because the future is changing very rapidly, and there are a lot of challenges. And I see that we're talking today about innovation, and you're bringing that innovation to all of your companies. And there will be resistance when you're talking about new things. So let's dive into that. All of you are managing smaller, larger companies, divisions of companies. And this was research a few years ago that I saw that really opened my eyes. Harvard started research with 10,000 companies, 5,000 US, 5,000 in Europe. And they asked us managers, what are we doing during the week? What's our time spent? So we spent 39% on financial reporting, 13% legal compliance and even intellectual property, 42% in operations, 6% strategy. And even that we're here today is the 6% of strategy belongs to that. This is no rocket science. I talk to many people and I say, okay, more or less, this is how my week looks like. But the most important thing was the second part of the research. Why did these companies during 10 years, they were followed by 10 years, why did they lose value? Well, 2% was due to financial reporting, 3% legal compliance and IP, and 9% operations. These are the things that we're all good at. This is doing the things right. That's what we learn at school. And if we don't have procedures, we will invent them to do it right. And it's necessary to do that. But 86% was because they forgot to ask a different question. Are we still doing the right things for tomorrow? It's taking bold decisions sometimes. And I remember in '95 when we opened Living Tomorrow, the House of the Future, for the first time. We invited Bill Gates, and when he walked through that House of the Future, I remember he said, and these words were quoted often later on, we always overestimate what happens in 5 years and we underestimate what's going to happen in 15. So therefore it's so important that you get a kind of immersive experience about what the future could be like. So you can start thinking about how to prepare. And that's why we're here. Thinking about that future, building it starting today. So everything changed. Also, I changed a lot, I have to admit. And the tires disappeared, something else disappeared. But okay. I'll bring you 4 things. Why innovation fails and what we can do to help it succeed. First thing, why? See this. When you were managing a company in the 60s, it seemed quite comfortable. Companies, average lifetime of companies was up to 60 years old. Today it has declined to 19. See it the positive way. There's a lot of new oxygen, a lot of new startups, but many companies disappear. Companies on the left side, we use all their services day in and day out. We need infinite connectivity for that. Companies on the other side were once big, but they lost. You all know these companies. I don't have to explain the business models, but they changed the way we do business forever. And these as a service is flowing into any industry, and it's still going faster. Business models are changing dramatically. Who had a Nokia before? Oh my God, so many people. I'm teaching at the University of Ghent, and I'm asking the same question to my students every year, and every year I see less and less fingers, so it's maybe telling something about me. But okay, we all had a Nokia, and there's also that second company, I'll come back to that soon. And we talked about technology. These things, all these things, lifetime, business models, new companies, new services, it's all changing our planet, us. We want it all, and we want it now. And it's changing our businesses. And we have 2 options. Or we face that uncertainty of the future, or we say, okay, it will take my time. I hope you go for the first. Second, what is innovation? I couldn't have said it better than Nabil did. New ways, better outcomes. That's innovation, staying relevant for tomorrow. But when you look to the future, I also like to look to the past. Some research I did, most of you will know that, industrial revolutions. And then you see these innovation waves. They were all boosted by a kind of energy from iron, water, steam, electricity, oil, and now data. We're still in the 5th innovation wave.
And we're going to the next one, the sustainability revolution. But when I looked closer, I saw 3 subwaves, and I would like to share them with you because it belongs to all of us. The first subwave in that ICT wave is what we call internal digitization. That's what started somewhere in the 70s and went up to the early 90s. And then the internet came. Anyone knows when the first public internet page was there? Online? 89? August 6, 1991. So it's quite recent. And that changed our industries forever, because then ERP systems, just-in-time systems, CRM systems, they all got there. We started connecting things in a totally different way, much more easy than before, when we called it EDI, electronic data interchange. And the next step, I took a different picture. I took a picture from a Tesla, but could also be your smartphone. Why? It's full of sensor technology. And it gives us immediate real-time feedback. And that feedback goes back to the designers for the first time in history. And although these products at launch were not the best products in the world, they become better and better and better with the over-the-air updates. Even services. I see many companies still not using that possibility enough. Maybe because they do not have the right connectivity, not the real-time connectivity, and not the idea how to process the data, to get wisdom out of it. And I saw that also, these 3 waves in our buildings. This was the first Living Tomorrow, was an internally digitized building. Second Living Tomorrow, connected to internet, and okay, we could see a lot more things happening around us, weather, traffic, and the system, the building, became more intelligent. We called it a smart building. And now the last one, and also thanks to Extreme, we created a cognitive building. It has a super digital twin connecting over more than 5,000 sensors and IoT things, and working with AI and optimizing that building just like your Tesla does or just like your smartphone does. The more you use it, the better it gets. It's important. If you're owner of real estate, think about connectivity and what you do with it. And that's what we did. We connected everything together. So if you integrate new things, if you step to your management about what the next 30 years will look like and what you should do, you see a lot of resistance. We all know this company was not that far from here. 400,000 people working almost in a city called Kodak. And I heard many times the story, okay, there was an analog film, there became digital film, they didn't see it, and gone was the company. And I thought, is that true? So I contacted Steven Sesson, the inventor of the digital camera, 75 Kodak. And we had a lot of talks. We tried to research what happened step by step. And what he said to me, Joachim, I had infinite budgets. I could experiment with that CMOS thing, how much I wanted. The more the better. I went to the top management. I presented them the first digital camera. I told them it's going to take some time, but this thing is going to get better than analog. They asked him, Steven, how long? He used Moore's law. He said 19 years. Was spot on. They became market leader with digital cameras. Did you know that? And still, things went wrong. Why was not an iPhone, Instagram, or GoPro invented by Kodak? It's full of their IP. Well, I saw in my research 3 fears. And you will meet them too in your company when you introduce new things. First of all, what will our customer think about it? Is that new technology better than what we already had? Is it not a risk for them? Second thing is channel intermediate. They had built up Kodak during 100 years, a whole channel with Photoshops, photographers, all earning money. And all of a sudden, that digital thing would wipe it away. Ooh. And third thing, Stephen said to me, Joachim, anyone is in favor of innovation until it happens to you. And that's true. So be careful. Think about these three fears that I see. Okay, what can we do to make innovation a success? I didn't invent that. I just listened to companies over the last 20 years, what they did, what their learnings were. And there are 7 keys. It's all in the book and the research that I did, but I just point out 2 of them. Many of you have here an engineering background. And there are things happening. Technology is going so fast. So I share with you my crystal ball of the future. When I was 10 years old, I didn't have any of these. And I'm quite sure in less than 10 years' time, we will not have any of these either. Even the World Wide Web will change dramatically. I'm not even talking about quantum computing and quantum internet. Be aware of that. So how can we predict that future, just like Stephen Sessens did way back in '75? Well, I share with you these fundamental technology laws. Not an engineering talk, just human talk. First thing, he passed away some time ago. Intel founder, Moore. Forget transistors, but he said, computing power doubles every 2 years. It means everything becomes intelligent, smart, cheap price. And it's really, really becoming more than intelligent. Now, in 2018, this was the smallest computer, full computer, on Earth. 1 year later, maybe you say, oh, I can do better, it's still big. Well, there are 128 on it. 1 year later, dimensions went divided by 10. Earlier this year, the Michigan Micromode was reintroduced, and again, scale divided by 10. This is going to lead to what we call artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is things that normally we as human beings do, intelligent processes that are done by machines. And you meet it already in your daily life. Traffic lights, development of COVID vaccine, even publicity folders that are personalized, and everything that happens on Netflix, suggestions, and Spotify. But it's even going further. Nick Bostrom introduced this from Oxford. It's not only AI and Gen AI, it's even moving beyond that. What we call super intelligence. Somewhere around 2060, maybe singularity says you something. These things are really becoming smart. Super intelligent. 4 things: cognitive superiority, autonomous learning and adaptation, strategic thinking even, and general intelligence, not trained on one single topic. This is the future that lays in front of us, and it's going fast. We still develop as human beings, but slowly. And computers, AI, is doing so fast. And it's not only in this kind of technology, it's also in display technology, graphics. So we all saw the metaverse popping up, and these avatars, we say, oh, they have no legs. Well, see this. A few months ago, Mark Zuckerberg and Lex Fridman had a talk with the new Meta glasses, VR glasses with cameras inside that can really detect your emotions even, and it stitches them with AI. And they were looking at each other, let's say,
I don't know
a few inches from each other.
see this, but this
It was even scary sometimes.
the realism.
They were
is
completely
incredible.
impressed.
Where am I?
800
Where are you,
kilometers
Mark?
from each
Where,
other.
where are we?
You're in Austin,
So
right?
if you
No, I mean
think
this
that
place.
this is not going to impact the job of job interviewers, psychologists, influencers, instructors, guides, sales reps, oh yes, it is. Maybe they're not going to disappear, but they're fundamentally going to be different. Second law, Gilder's law, bandwidth. Since I started with Living Tomorrow, I always heard the internet will block. There will be a bottleneck. No way. This law says bandwidth even develops faster. Did you know how we searched for information before 98? You still see them, these encyclopedia? Today, everything is really at our fingertips. Thanks, Extreme. But that's really a development that we cannot stop anymore. Everything artificial intelligent and smart, everything connected and in the cloud. And connected. This picture is from our brain. It's a brain nerve. The thicker it is, the more intelligent it is. It wants to connect. That's nature. Systems do that too. And there's a law coming out of telephony. The value of a network is the square of the number of participants. I'm talking to myself, value 1. I'm talking to you. We're reflecting, value is 4. We do that with 3 persons, value 9. With humans, it often goes wrong. With systems, it goes much better. And that's where Kevin Ashton invented the terminology in 1999, Internet of Things. Connecting people with things and connecting processes with data. Everything infinitely connected with each other. That's what we did, that's what we need for the future. So what does it mean? The time that we are here together, can you imagine? Computer power was growing more than a full generation before us experienced. And it's still going faster. These driverless cars, are they coming? Yes, of course. Technology is ready. Maybe you already tried it out. We did. And you know, legislation is not really ready because they tried to pull over the car and they asked for the driver's license. And when I was in California recently, I tried out Neuro. So just ordered my book there through Amazon, and half an hour later it arrived autonomously, 0 emission, and I could take out my book. Nice future. But it needs connectivity. And this.
Can I have something to eat?
Sure thing.
Great. Can you explain why you did what you just did while you pick up this trash?
On it. So I gave you the apple because it's the only edible item I could provide you with from the table.
See this movie, it's from OpenAI and the robot. The robot is using ChatGPT 4 to really have an interaction together with you. It's getting even scary for me. Although I believe future always has more opportunities than there are threats. But be aware of what's happening around us and what's coming to us. Or do you think that these things will not be part of our household in the next coming 10 to 15 years? Or rockets here, a few kilometers further, falling out of the sky. Without connectivity, they die on impact, like the man says. So any sufficient technology, any advanced technology, is indistinguishable from magic. So are you ready for that? Are we ready for that? I tried to invent a very brief, small formula. Is your organization future fit? In tuna times, that's what we use at Oxford University. Tuna means turbulent times, uncertain, things happen new to the world, and it's ambiguous. It's happening everywhere at the same time. So do you have a vision? Is it written down? Is it in the minds of your people? Secondly, do you have speed to implement it? And thirdly, are you agile enough? If you've taken the wrong path, what can always happen, failure is positive. You can change. Divided, and I know, I started living tomorrow in 95, divided by experience, in tuna times. Be aware that when you're working long time at the same thing, you don't have to disappear, but you have to remember what Steven Sesson said to me. Joachim, half of Kodak became naysayers. Don't become the naysayer of your company. And remember Jack Welch. It's a long time ago, but he was right. When change outside is faster than inside, the end is near. You know where this dinosaur is standing. It's in front of the headquarters of Google. Because they want to remind everyone working there that dinosaurs thought they were invincible. And something happened that they were not aware of, and all of a sudden they're gone. So please, take a look at the keys to success to innovate. Because then, I'm sure, that instead of why innovation fails, we make it why innovation succeeds. Thank you for having me. I'm looking forward. Thank you.